coming. This is unbelievable. We are seeing him openly move to get over $1 trillion of money back in the United States by changing our tax laws to expose the globalist. I have the cover of USA Today here in front of me with their weekend edition. Trump's cabinet of disruptors ready to go. That's right. They're going to disrupt the new world order, ladies and gentlemen. And all the things Trump is delivering on in spades, and he has committed to the American people, he's committed to me. I'm going to just leave it at that so the media doesn't have another heyday with it, that he's going to deliver or basically die trying. He is going all out. And that's why we're seeing this unprecedented move right now to disrupt the inauguration and to actually try to sell the American people on an overthrow of Trump. The establishment, the globalists, are trying to convince themselves that they can try some coup with Obama with 7 days left. Now, remember, in the last month, I've been warning you that they're trying to launch a continuity of government, COG, basically Operation Valkyrie. They used COG in 1944 to try to kill Hitler, their continuity of government system, but it backfired. Well, they've turned that around now. They're acting like Trump is illegitimate. They're trying to sell COG through rogue groups in the government to convince them that what they're doing is okay and normal. And I've said the left is openly behind the scenes calling for martial law and the arrest of Trump or the blocking of Trump and then a, quote, new election. That's why Homeland Security last week announced the federalization and total control of elections. People said, well, he'll be gone in 10 days or so, last week or 12 days, whatever it was. But see, not if they suspend this election and say it was fraudulent. They're seriously thinking about it. Now, Rosie O'Donnell is one of the top people in the New York Hollywood scene. She's a has-been, but she's a darling with the elites. And she has put out an article in Yahoo. We'll put it up on Infowars.com for everybody right now. She has come out and openly said that she wants the election suspended because she's a, quote, Russian agent until that can be cleared up. Of course, it'll never be cleared up. They're the ones running with this info. And that she wants martial law in place.
Well, we are just 1 week away from Donald Trump's inauguration, and people are promising to cause as much chaos as possible. Now, we know there's going to be, I guarantee there's probably going to be about 1 million people there, Owen, there in D.C. to witness this epic event. But there's going to be a lot of people there protesting. They are absolutely trying to say, not my president, even though, hashtag he is going to be your president come January 20th. But we've actually got Donald Trump's nemesis, Rosie O'Donnell, calling for martial law to delay the inaugurations. She says, I fully support imposing martial law, delaying the inauguration until Trump is cleared of all charges. So, we knew that
what charges,
Piggy
Rosie?
or whatever. Exactly. Is to make sure he doesn't have ties to Russia.
Miss Piggy.
She's going on the debunked dossier that was going around, but facts do not matter. They just want to stop Donald Trump no matter what. But it's interesting because martial law might need to be declared over the amount of protests that are planned. Protesters are actually planning to paralyze the inauguration with traffic jams. They say that, we want it to be mostly peaceful, but, if something happens, that's okay. They're calling for mass riots. And they're opposing the peaceful Trump transition. Even though President Barack Obama came out and was sure to say that it's going to be this peaceful transition, they are saying, hell no, we won't go. He's not going to be my president. And, so just very interesting to see what happens there.
They've been trying to steal this from the beginning. They failed to steal it because your tsunami wind was so big. They are now moving forward, and they officially federalized 2 weeks ago. Now, if they're leaving office, why does that really matter? Well, it's still unconstitutional. But see, if they try to declare a civil emergency or a national emergency, activate groups around the country rioting, which they're preparing to do, and they create a bunch of hysteria, they could, with some plausible cover, at least to some people, even though it's unconstitutional, claim that there was a suspension or a postponement of the election results until a new election could be held or investigations could take place, while they further demonized you and rolled forward with their hoaxes and disinformation. When they 2 weeks ago, or I guess 11 days ago to be technical, came out with Homeland Security and federalized the elections publicly outside of congressional power, just by executive fiat from Obama, that was the big telltale sign that they're seriously considering trying to overturn this election or postpone it, and then have the new election under their full control, which of course will be fraudulent. There's precedent for this in other countries. This is what they're publicly pushing for. Now you see Rosie O'Donnell, who of course is a failure and a joke, but she's on the inside with the Democrats, coming out and saying she wants martial law and the election postponed or suspended. CNN's been putting out the talking point of a national or civil emergency to do the same thing. And now we see the doddering Congressman John Lewis coming out and saying you are not legitimate, and the Russians did give you this victory with no evidence but their fake dossiers and PP-gate. Now, we can all say, well, they're discredited, it's not going to carry them over. Yes, the public's woken up to them, Mr. President, but they're still in executive control and might try some type of martial law scenario. We now see the general over the riot troops for your inauguration in 6 days being removed from command on the day of the event. In his words, the middle of a battle. It is very, very suspicious. While Soros and others have spent tens of millions to bus in, upwards of 100,000 people who are openly saying they want to shut down whitehouse.gov, physically encircle the White House, not let you enter it, and shut down the parade route and basically riot in an act of revolution against our Democratic Republic in the election. So that's my basic boil down. There's a lot of other facets. Obviously, it's a perfect storm to come after you because the pile of garbage, MSM, is falling apart. The dinosaur media knows they have basically no viewers, no credibility. So why shouldn't they work with criminal elements of the rogue deep state and rogue elements of the CIA to come out against you and try to do this and try to block you? Even if they're unable to block you, which I'd say it's about an 80% chance they'll be unable to, this discrediting is in preparation for impeachment proceedings that they admit in the New York Times are planning to launch soon after you're in. So my message is this. I first predicted this, I first laid this out, and I have the sources. I've been proven correct. I know you have your own sources as well, sir. You must go on the offensive now and come out about the Office of Personnel Management hack that was 14 to 20 million names, true dossiers, spies, the entire system rolled up by the communist Chinese. The biggest hack in history, the biggest failure. A lot of experts believe it was on purpose, and Obama compromising us as part of his larger sabotage plan. I would come out in a press conference and I would say they're the ones distracting from what they did. I know you've tweeted it, but sir, we need you at the pulpit bringing this up to everybody at the lectern to dominate these enemies, foreign and domestic.